Approximately 13.7 billion years ago, something happened. That something is what is commonly referred to as the Big Bang. The Big Bang is a scientific theory about how the universe started, and then made the galaxies we see today. The universe began as a singularity, very hot, small, dense, with no atoms, form, or structure. The universe, from here, has expanded at an ever-growing rate, as it continues to do, not showing any signs of slowing down. The father of the Big Bang theory was Georges Lemaitre, who was also a Belgian priest, astronomer, and professor of physics at the Catholic University of Leuven, and the one who first proposed the Big Bang theory in 1927. The major celestial bodies in our solar system are, starting at the middle, first the Sun. It will be the center point for the measurement of the solar system. With a diameter of 1,392,000 kilometers, it is the largest single object in the solar system. Second, we have Mercury, with a diameter of 4,880 kilometers and a distance from the Sun of only 57 million kilometers. It is the smallest of the planets and also closest to the Sun, which is the reason it has such a hot surface. Next up, we have Venus, with its diameter of 12,104 kilometers. It comes in as the second largest rocky planet, just a mere 652 kilometers smaller than Earth. As the third planet from the Sun, and the one we all know and love, Earth is the largest of all the rocky planets, coming in at 12,756 kilometers, and the distance from the Earth to the Sun of 150 million kilometers equals 1 astronomical unit. Now we have Mars, the red planet. With its diameter of 6,794 kilometers, Mars is the second smallest of the rocky planets, but also the furthest from the Sun, being 228 million kilometers away. Jupiter is the largest of all the planets in the solar system, with its diameter of 142,984 kilometers, and the closest gas giant to the Sun. But just because it's the closest doesn't mean it's close, still being 779 million kilometers away. One of the two planets with rings around them, the beautiful Saturn, places as the second largest planet in the solar system, its diameter being 120,536 kilometers. Saturn's rings are made up of dust, rock, and ice accumulated from passing comets and meteor impacts on Saturn's moons. Uranus, seated as the seventh planet from the Sun, is the butt of all planetary jokes. Uranus has a diameter of 51,118 kilometers and is a whopping 2,880,000,000 kilometers away from the Sun, so it gets a bit dark out there. And finally, there is Neptune, the furthest planet from the Sun at 4.5 billion kilometers away, and it's not that big as gas giants go, with a diameter of only 49,532 kilometers. $299,792,458 meters per second, or 1,079,252,852 kilometers per hour. That is the speed at which light travels in a vacuum. A light year is the distance traveled by light over the period of a year, that distance being approximately 9,460,730,470,000 kilometers. That may look like a massive distance, but the closest star to Earth, Proxima Centauri, is still a massive 4.22 light years away. That's 39,924,282,583,400 kilometers. And you thought the walk to the corner store was long. Even our Sun, which looks so close in comparison, is 8 light minutes and 20 light seconds away from Earth at 150 million kilometers. Because light is the fastest moving thing in the universe today, we know this from Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, we can use this information to find out quite a few things, one of them being the ability to use it to let us see into the past. How, you may be wondering? Well, we know one thing, the speed of light is constant, so that can be used to figure out how long ago something happened as long as we know where it happened. Figuring out the distance between Earth and another celestial body sounds extremely difficult, but in fact it isn't. It's done using a technique called parallax. If you hold your finger in front of your face, close one eye and then look with the other, then switch eyes, you'll see your finger seem to shift with respect to more distant objects behind it. This is because your eyes are separated from each other by a distance of a few inches, so each eye sees the finger in front of you from a slightly different angle. The amount your finger seems to shift is called parallax. Astronomers use the principle of parallax to measure distances to the closest stars. Here, the term parallaxed in a succession of methods by which astronomers determine the distances to celestial objects, serving as a basis for other distance measurements in astronomy, forming the higher rungs of the ladder. Now for actually looking back in time. Looking up at the sky at midday, you can see the sun. If the sun was to go out, you would see it happen approximately 8.4 minutes after it actually happened, due to the light taking that long to travel the 150 million kilometers between the sun and Earth. Expanding upon this, supernova 1987A occurred in a nearby galaxy called the Large Magellanic Cloud. Its light was observed in Earth in 1987, but the distance to the Large Magellanic Cloud is about 190,000 light years. Thus, we normally say that supernova 1987A occurred in 1987, but it really happened about 190,000 years earlier. Only did in 1987 did the light of the explosion reach the Earth. If we want to know what the Large Magellanic Cloud looks like now, we will have to wait 190,000 years. So, start counting. Just like to give a shout out to Pendulum for all the music in this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and you're not the center of the universe. Bye.